It's update time. Today we're checking in with one of my favorite book coaches, Miss Valerie McDowell. We talk about how books can be a great way to leave a legacy behind. She even shares insight on how this pandemic can be an opportunity for learning, exploring, and finding new ways to be all of you. So please stick around and enjoy the show. Welcome, my friends, to another episode of Coffee with Tea. I am excited because we're going to do a follow-up segment because Ms. Valerie McDowell was here and her previous episode premiered August the 28th. So please make sure you check that out. And what I'm going to do is now bring her in because this is basically a great follow-up into how to prepare you to write your book and entrepreneur stuff. And so without further ado, I want to bring on my good friend, Ms. Valerie McDowell. Welcome back, my friend.
Thank you, Tonia. So good to be here. It's always a pleasure to hang out with you.
It's always a pleasure to talk to you because, like I said, you inspire me with just all the stuff you got going on. You said you had 7 books you were working on. Now you were down to 6, and then you told me we are back up to 7. So congratulations. And how has that been going?
Oh my God, it is so amazing. I'm just so blessed and honored that I get to work with these men and women, helping them to realize their dreams, because as I help, usher them into, fulfilling their dream of writing a book, then I get to kind of come alongside them and just watch magic happen. I mean, it's so amazing to me to see, you go from an idea to a full-blown book. And for many people, it's like when they get that book in their hand, or even when they see the title page, that's always, when we have a cover design, sending out to them, oh my God, it gets exciting. And we just updated one, just added one little thing in the background. He's like, oh my God, that's even better than it was before. He already loves it, but he's like, it's even better than it was before. So just the whole process of working with clients and seeing the development of a book come to manifestation is just always a good thing.
Right. And sort of, you talk about like you basically what you do is you help them take it from concept in their head and to put it out into I guess the birth the birth of their ideas.
Yes, I am the midwife to birthing books here.
I love it.
Like, okay, we're gonna push. Yes, and the majority of my clients, it is still in idea form. If they have anything written, it might just be a couple of chapter titles or maybe just a title, if that. Only 1 or 2 of my clients have actually had some work to share, maybe 4 or 5 pages, but the majority of people, it's really like it's been in their head for weeks and months and years or decades even. That's always, just because life, got in the way, they were married, kids, this in school, careers, all kinds of things where that book keeps getting put at the back of the list.
Right. And I know we talked about, how to get started and stuff like that last time, really. But like, I think what's the biggest struggle that people just don't seem to get? I think we talked a little bit about the fear and stuff like that, or, is it like nobody's going to listen to what I have to say? Is that like one of the biggest drawbacks that people have on writing their books? Or?
I would say both of those come into play, and not even they won't listen, but they won't read it, and even with the reading, am I willing to share my truth? Because a lot of times we live life with a mask on. We're this persona. We're this certain face in public, in the workplace, at church, sometimes even in our own families, we're a certain way. And I think, particularly in light of coronavirus quarantine, that people are having to be themselves. It's like, you might've got away with the mask the first month in March and April. It's July, almost August. It's like, are you, and particularly for those couples or families that, were just kind of two ships in the night. You're ripping, running here. Okay, bye. See you, honey. Okay, I'm back, and now you're just, everybody's at home, whether it was with this homeschooling and both parents working, for instance, or, however your family dynamic works out, or roommates or whatever the situation may be. We're spending a lot of time together, and there are a lot of stories.
Yeah.
A lot of stories to tell now. Sometimes crisis and, inconveniences allow for some of the best stories, you know,
Absolutely.
like
I
you having a car breakdown, just thought of this, and you having to get on a bus, for instance. You haven't been on a bus since you were maybe in college or something, in high school. So you're on public transportation. You've been, driving your car forever. And now you get to see what other people do. And you're like, wow, this is fascinating. Like if you look around and you don't realize how much you miss when you're just always in your car or in your space or in wherever you are. But when you get out among other people or you see things from someone else's perspective, or you have to shift and adjust your own, yeah, a lot of magic can happen because you start seeing things from a whole new different viewpoint.
right, right. And that's why I said, is that been like one of the biggest things that you've seen? Like, you know, we've been in this coronavirus shutdown for a while. I wish to say shutdown because we're not shut down, but you know, we've been in this.
Yeah.
So what have you seen has been the biggest aha for you for this time period?
I think the biggest aha is that I like this setup.
Right.
I mean, the miss sometimes, which is really not a miss, was I had more separation when I was commuting somewhere, so I could shift, from one thing to another just because the commute kind of forced it, me to shift and put my mind on something else. But the continual, but I've worked at home, I used to do a whole lot of projects at night anyway. I do some of my best work when it's quiet and everyone's gone to sleep. But just being able to get so much more done and having more time to, really be able to say, well, what can I do? Or how do I work? Seeing, your own work patterns, your own work habits, and being like, I need to fix that. Or that's great. Or why do you have so many meetings on your schedule for today? Figuring out how you work best and what's even needed and not needed. I think a lot of people are seeing, again, with a family, for instance, did we really need to be in all of those activities? Sitting down at a table to eat, not, quickly at a couch, watching TV while you're on the computer, but taking time to do some things, going for a walk in the neighborhood. A lot more of that is going on, with the gym being closed, because you even had that kind of paradigm about, I meet with these people, we go here, but now you're like, you don't know who you're going to meet when you're walking in the neighborhood.
Right.
What you're going to see,
Right.
or even to observe, so I think just being more conscious and more aware intentionally about your surroundings and how you're feeling, your energy levels, like you're more aware because you're not rushing all day. So being more aware of where I am physically, mentally, emotionally, as I go throughout my day.
Right. I'm just sitting there as you were talking, I'm thinking, I said, can you imagine how many books are going to come out of this?
Yes.
This
Yes.
is a great time to reflect and figure out,
Exactly.
what story do I want to share? What kind of legacy do I want to leave behind? And that's really basically like what a book can actually do for you, right?
Yes, absolutely. That is one. I have a set of clients for whom legacy building is very important. And so being able to leave something behind, as our country reckons with a lot of our history, a lot of people who, I know my parents' generation, those before, they didn't really talk about certain things, like they literally never talked about it. My parents are from the South and they came up north. They were part of the Great Migration. And so there are things I'm hearing now at my very lovely double digit, double nickel age that I literally have never heard. It's like, but the culture and the way things were, you just didn't talk about it. And so to hear these stories, but also to validate that, no, this is important. No, let's talk about, let's share this. Let someone know what you went through and how you were able to accomplish it and get through it. That we come from great stock, of people who have gone through, terrible things, but still are here, that we are still here, still doing great and mighty things. And so, I mean, I love those kinds of stories, those overcoming stories, those stories of triumph. And to be able to share with your kids, your grandkids, your great grandkids, that, yeah, this is what we were able to do. Like, yeah, we had nothing. What's Drake's song, started from the bottom, now we're here. Like, literally, we were at the bottom, and even if you just moved up a little bit, like, we had nothing.
Right,
So
right.
to hear some of these stories, or even, other things, people have gone through, medical situations, and even how you're dealing with loss, even in this time. Many people have lost family members, and people they know, and during this time. So, the new way to grieve, that's a book there. How to grieve when you can't be close. Okay, who wants that title?
I'll take it. I'll take it. I
So
got
there,
some books in the
yeah.
work.
So just to piggyback, like, it's so many stories, like you said, that can come out of this, that, and how you use them, how you use this time particularly, will determine where you end up.
Right, right. Well, you mentioned the double nickel thing. So and I know in those kind, because I'm about at the I'm almost at the 50 mark. I ain't gonna lie. So I was like, you
Yeah,
take this time, huh?
water's fine. Come on in.
Hey, I'm coming. I'm dipping my toe in. But with that being said, I think there's a time where we hit I said a reframing in our lifetime. Is that something that you think at your wisdom that you would like to share? That for those who are
And
coming
all my great wisdom. Yes, I am 55 and proud of it, my dear. Okay. And I would say that I'm excited because I keep finding new things, new experiences I want to have. Like, I don't feel like it's over. Like, gone are the days of sitting in a rocking chair and rocking till you're gone. It's like, people, my family lived to like 99 and 105. So I'm like, I'm only halfway there. So it's like, I
right,
got time to get some stuff done. And so being, curious, being interested in a lot of different things, being an interesting person. It's like having a lot of different skill sets and interests. Like, I read all kinds of things. I was a friend mentioned, we were talking about musicals, of which Hamilton, is the big one that's out now.
right.
But I told her, like, I really like musicals, but only certain ones. Like, and I mentioned one I really liked, which was Fela, that came out maybe about 4 years ago. And she had never heard of it. And oh my God, it was like, now I have to go online and find it. Now I have to dance. Now I have to do this, because it's like, I love that kind of stuff. It energizes me. I just am inspired by it. Anything in the arts often inspires me. And just to see beautiful things, to see something done in a beautiful way, to see dancers moving their bodies. I was a dancer a real long time ago. I still got moves, but I'm gonna let the young ones have it right now. But it's like being able to keep learning, keep exploring, keep finding new ways to be all of you. Like, we often only tap into just little bits of us. Like, we work our whole life, and then we retire, and then what? Some people say, I'm not doing anything else. I've already worked. My kids are grown. I've raised, like, they're not doing anything else, and that's it. But it's like, why let your brain stop functioning?
Right,
It's like,
right,
when now you have more time to do some things maybe that you didn't get to do. Like, this is a
right,
great time to see, what would I do now, that I have the time. How can I improve myself? Learning, being always teachable is a great, mindset to have. That there's always more to learn, something new, exciting, new people to meet, travel, see the world. I want to live until I die. I want to live until I die.
that's definitely, yes, yeah, that's definitely, I think one of the greatest things I think about this time is the time to sit down and reflect about where you've been and where you'd like to go. So I mean, like I said, there's always something to learn, something to grow. Like you said, there's always something out there. So what would you encourage those who are about to hit the 50? What would you say prepare yourself for?
I say embrace it. The freedom, I remember 40. And 40 was like, okay, I'm 40. But 50 is freedom, baby. I went to Europe for 3 weeks when I hit 50.
Wow.
Okay. And I had the best time. And so I got to practice my French, learn some Italian, see, all kinds of things, and, say things like lift and, the telly and all these things when I was in England. So, I mean, like to be able to explore different parts of my own being, but 50, embrace it, connect with people, it's like you're getting closer to getting, get more discounts at 50 with AARP, and you get even more at 55. Okay. It's like use them. $8 off, I'll take it. Free brunch, I'll take it. It's like, and age is just a number. It's like use it from the, chronological age, get the benefits of that. But you're a avid walker and exerciser, so you've already got confident strides going on. Keep your body moving, because if you keep your body moving, then you keep the energy and the oxygen in your body. Your mind is still functioning. Keep exploring, keep doing. Don't stop.
Right.
Because once we stop doing and moving, then life starts getting a little stagnated for us.
And that's the thing with our brain, or with our minds too, because I know your mind is a muscle as well. So if you're not
Exactly.
Working on it and expanding it, it's I wouldn't say you lose it, but
there's some capacity loss.
Yeah, you're a little struggling on how to keep your creativity flowing. So
yeah. I heard something a long time ago, and it's about the word, they were talking about TV, but it's like it's meant for amusement, and muse means to think. So you add that A in front of it, amuse, then you're not thinking. So don't do things where you're not thinking too much. Okay. Like, watch TV, but don't watch it all the time. A lot of elderly people watch a lot of TV, and then their mental capacity tends to deteriorate, or they're mixing all kinds of stuff they've watched all day.
Right.
So we need to get their minds working sometimes in a little more beneficial way than just watching TV all day. Yeah.
Right. Well, I have enjoyed this conversation, and I want to remind people, where can people find more information about you, your services, and what you do?
All right. Well, I am Valerie McDowell, your writer, editor, and book coach accelerator. I work with writing challenge clients, helping them get their stories told and their books published. You can find me on www.power2excel, Power to Excel, or my Facebook page is Book Coach Accelerator. Okay. Book Coach Accelerator.
And are you still doing a live, right?
I do a Write It Out every Wednesday night at 9:30. Thank you for reminding me. Every Wednesday, we are in our second year. So we just celebrated our first year at the beginning of the month, but this is year 2. And we come on every Wednesday night at 9:30 p.m. Book Coach Accelerator.
Well, congratulations again. And thank you again for coming on. I love your wisdom that you always share, because you inspire me. I'm going to get my book eventually. Just
yes. Can we do that? We still got time. We
still got a little. You know what? I'm assuming I got time.
All right, let's get on the schedule.
Yeah. So again, thank you for tuning in, and I also want to remind everybody that feedback is always welcome. Please email us if you have any guests or show ideas. Links are always posted in the comments to all of Valerie's things that she mentioned, her website, her Facebook page, all those things. I said, check those out. Also, if you enjoyed this episode, we'll know by you giving us a thumbs up and leaving us a comment. And if you are enjoying the insight that you're receiving and you find it valuable, please hit that subscribe button. And also remember, keep things in stride, go with the flow, and create your own path. And again, thank you for joining us here on this episode of Coffee with Tea. We'll see you next time. Share with us, what was one of your takeaways from today's show? Post your answers in the comments. Hi everyone, this is Tonia popping in again to say thank you for listening to today's show. Coffee with Tea interviews are always free, and if you're enjoying the wisdom and insights that's being shared, please consider showing your support. By all means, buy me a coffee or become a supporter. Links are posted in the comments. And again, thank you for tuning in.